My dear friend, today I am going to take few questions. One friend has asked that I am living in an ordinary worldly life of a household. It's not possible to do meditation in this situation of the family. Shall I go to Himalayas for spiritual growth? There is no need to go to Himalayas or to the forests. You can do meditation exactly where you are living, in your family, in your worldly life. Meditation is not against the marketplace. In fact, marketplace is the best situation where you can meditate, where everything is disturbed, so much noisy. It is very good to become peaceful and silent there. In contrast, you can feel the silence. So no need to run away, no need to renounce the world or the family. Keep on living wherever you are and keep on doing whatsoever you are doing, and you will find the way. You have to go in. You don't have to run to the Himalayas. You have to run within yourself. Reach to your consciousness. I have heard a story about an old man who used to live in a village. His only son was in prison for some reason. A situation happened that the old man became sick and he was unable to do the farming. He had a huge potato garden, but this year he did not have enough physical strength to dig the garden and to seed the potatoes. So he wrote a letter to his son who was in the prison that I am unable to do my farming job this year. How nice it would have been if you were here. You would have dig the garden for me. So this year I am unable to earn anything. I am not able to dig the garden myself. I am feeling too weak. His son sent him a telegram and he wrote, "My dear father, please don't dig the field because that is the place where I have put my guns. They are hidden underground." Next morning, early in the morning, many police officers and CIB agents came and they started digging the whole garden. By the afternoon, the whole garden was dug. The old man was confused. He wrote a letter to his son and mentioned what has happened here. The son was very happy. He replied, "Now, father, go ahead and do your farming. This is what the best I could do from here, from the prison. Now your field is ready." So don't worry, wherever you are, in whatever situation you are always able to do something. You are in a family doing your household work perfectly fine. Kabir was doing the same, Sant Dadu was doing the same, Sant Ravidas was doing the same. Guru Nanak Dev Ji used to do his farming. He used to do everything for the family. He was earning money. He was living a household life. So just like Kabir and Ravidas and Dadu and Nanak, you don't have to renounce the world. In the ancient days, there is an example of the King Janak, the father of Sita. He was a king and he lived like a king and he attained to God realization. So don't have to run away from the family and from the world. And this is the basic teaching of Osho. Osho says, my disciples, my sannyasis have to live in the sansar, in the world itself. So don't find excuse that family is becoming a hindrance for meditation. It cannot become hindrance. The story I told you about the farmer, he has to dig the field. And what you have to dig is your consciousness. You have to go deep within yourself. Nobody from outside can help, neither anybody can become a hindrance to it. Just find out some minutes. A half an hour will be sufficient every day. Sit silently, do nothing, go inside as far as you can. Go beyond the mind, and you will dig the well within yourself which will quench your thirst. The second question is, I have read a book written by a great scholar who has explained 125 meanings of the word Om. Now I am very much confused. How can there be so many meanings of a single word? Please explain. Scholars and philosophers are great people. I have heard about a blind man who was trying to find out a black cat in a dark room which did not exist at all. There was no black cat, and the man is blind, and in a dark room, in a dark night, he is trying to find out the cat. And the miracle, he finds the cat. And about these scholars and pundits and philosophers, they not only found one cat, they can find 125 cat. They can find a million cat. It is all nonsense. The word Om has no meaning at all. It has significance but no meaning. Not even a single meaning. It is just a sound. It is a music. It is inner music which is heard when you go deep in meditation. It is the music of the consciousness itself. Your consciousness is echoing with a humming sound. That is somewhat similar to Om. It is not exactly Om, but somewhat similar. It has no meaning. It is not a word. It is not part of language. That's why Hindus, Jainas and Buddhists in this country, they have used a symbol for Om. They have not used the alphabets to write it. They could have written A-U-M or O-M as Om, but they did not do it. They made a pictorial symbol of it, just to say that it is not part of our language. Language belongs to the mind, and the sound, this music of Om is heard when the mind is calm and quiet, when the mind does not exist. All the language has disappeared. All words have disappeared. Then you start hearing these beautiful, wonderful sounds. In Tibet, they have used a mantra, the famous mantra you might have heard, Om Mani Padme Hum. So all the religions of the East, whether they are Hindu, they are Jaina or Buddhist, or Tibetan Buddhist, or Sikhs, all these agree on one point. Then whenever a meditator goes inside, he hears the sound of Om. This question was asked once to Osho also, and he has responded in a very beautiful way. Let us hear Osho's answer.
Om is the sound when everything else disappears from your being. No thought, no dream, no projections, no expectations, not even a single ripple. Your whole lake of consciousness is simply silent. It has become just a mirror. In those rare moments you hear the sound of silence. It is the most valuable experience because it not only shows a quality of the inner music, it also shows that the inner is full of harmony, joy, blissfulness, all that is implied in the music of Om. You are not to say it. If you say it, you will miss the real thing. You have to hear it. You have to be utterly calm and quiet, and suddenly it is all around you. A very subtle dance, And the moment you are able to hear it, you have entered into the very secrets of existence. You have become so subtle that now you deserve all the mysteries to be exposed to you. In the East, all the religions, without exception, agree on this point, that the sound that is heard in the final highest peak of silence is something similar to Om. The word Om is not written in any language of the East alphabetically, because it is not part of language. It is written as a symbol. Hence, the same symbol is used in Sanskrit, in Pali, in Prakrit, in Tibetan, everywhere the same symbol, because all the mystics of all the ages have reached to the same experience, that it is not part of our mundane world. Hence, it should not be written in alphabet. It should have its own symbol which is beyond language. It does not mean anything as far as mind is concerned, but it means tremendously as far as your spiritual growth is concerned.
Last question. How can joint meditation programs be helpful to me and my family? We will teach you two things. One is meditation, that is to dig within yourself, and second part is samadhi, listening to the sound of music, the Om. And when you are full of the harmony, when your inner being becomes musical, you become very loving and compassionate, friendly. So that's how it helps you as well as your family, your friends, the people you are living with. Once you become loving and friendly, of course, the fragrance of that love is going to spread. So meditation will bring your consciousness to the flowering, and the fragrance will spread all over. That's how it will help you as well as your family. Thank you very much.